strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to a Florida university for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to the director of the admissions office, it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Wiley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to a Florida university for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to like the director of the admissions office, like it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Riley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Rialto College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to a Florida university for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to like the director of the admissions office, like it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Riley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Rialto College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to the HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to a Florida university for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to the director of the admissions office, it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Riley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
Okay. Okay. It's okay.
Can I get a motion to adjourn closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Time is 7:12. All right. Tonight we have an awesome presentation by Fitzgerald Elementary School, but first, fifth grade student Abigail Sanchez, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
And now, selected fifth grade students from Fitzgerald Elementary School, led by their teacher, Mrs. Stacy Norman, will be performing a Reader's Theater from the National Constitution Center, Preamble to the Constitution.
The Constitution of the United States describes the plan of our government and the rights of the American people. It contains 4,543 words. It is a living document, which means it can be changed or amended. This has only been done 27 times. It is more powerful than any branch of government or any state in the Union. The first part of the Constitution is the preamble. A preamble is an introduction, where the document and its purpose are explained. We, the people of the United States, came here from England, Scotland, France, Sweden, and Holland. Mary Elizabeth, Sarah, and Hannah. William, Richard, Patrick, and Edward. We came to New England to find religious freedom. And to farm and fish. We grew corn and wheat in Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. We came to practice our own religion and to make money in the middle colonies. Many of us came without our families and worked hard in ironworks and shipyards. We came to Delaware, Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. Catherine, Deborah, Rachel, and Anne. George, Charles, John, and Nathaniel. We came to the southern colonies to grow tobacco, rice, and indigo. And to make money in a new market. We came to Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Margaret, Helene, Amy, and Abigail. Byron, Hans, Philip, and Pierre. In order to form a more perfect union. To solidify our nation and join together, bringing our own unique characteristics into one unified whole for the good of us all. Establish justice. We had to decide what our government would do for us. And ensure that all of us would be treated fairly and equally in the eyes of the law. No taxation without representation. Ensure domestic tranquility. We have had enough of war and seek peace in our nation. We fought against. We stood by England in the French and Indian War, and fought against her for the right to govern ourselves. Provide for common defense. To protect all of the citizens from enemies of our nation.
It is the duty of our government to protect our lives, liberty, and property.
Promote the general welfare.
And foster the good of all the citizens.
And secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We will create an active partnership between the government and the people. We, the people of this new nation. To secure safe communities to live in and raise our children. do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. The Constitutional Convention met at the State House in Philadelphia.
There were 55 delegates to the convention. 12 of the 13 states were represented.
The Constitution was ratified on June 21st, 1788.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Excellent job.
You guys twins?
Yes, they are.
How come he's presenting 2 awards? Thank you. Well, if he's, that's okay.
Thank you also to Fitzgerald Principal, Mrs. Tina Lingenfelter, parents, guardians, Mrs. Norman, for supporting our talented students. Another round of applause. Go Foxes! Thank you. And can we get a report out of closed session?
Yes, sir, President Montes. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Ricky Uribe, autism specialist. The roll call vote was unanimous. And the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Delia Carreras, high school assistant principal at Rialto High School. The roll call vote of those present was unanimous.
Congratulations. Are they here today? Would they like to come up and shake hands? Not here today. All righty. High five from home. Let's see. Next we go to adoption of the agenda. We do have a correction. The correction is to item reference D 2.1 under public hearing as follows. Public hearing pursuant to the requirements of governmental code and board policy, the form for public disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement, AB 1200, statutes of 1991, chapter 1213, as revised by AB 2756, statutes of 2004, chapter 25, government code 3547.5, between and the typo was Communication Workers of America, CWA. That has been scratched out and has been corrected to state California School Employees Association, CSEA. And the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as corrected?
So moved. Second.
Do we have any other issues with the agenda tonight? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next we go to presentations B, and we'll start with Middle School District Student Advisory Committee, DSAC.
Thank you, President Montes. Up first, for representing Cold Middle School, we have Shania Sims and Bernardo Mariscal.
Welcome. Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. I am Shania Symes, the ASB Secretary of the Mighty Cougars, and I am joined by Cove's Vice President Bernardo Mariscal. It has been a great month in Cougar Country, including the addition to our new assistant principals, Mrs. Monica Garcia and Mr. Todd Harris. We are so excited to have them join the Cove Cougars family. We have lots to celebrate at Cove as we continue to shine the light on our new student successes. 8th grade Kiana Vasquez was surprised with the news this week that her t-shirt design was selected as the 2019 Advisory Council Conference winner. The design will be used throughout the conference, placed in the Nutrition magazine, and every attendee will also receive a shirt with Kiana's winning design on it during the conference next month. Our avid students have taken 2 college campus tours already this year to visit the Cal State Fullerton, Cal Poly Pomona, and Cal State San Bernardino. Our avid students are already planning their path to college. Courage Week has turned into a month of kindness. Our anti-bullying assembly kickoff was led by District Supervisor Officer Ramirez. Also, every student received a blue Courage wristband supplied by our Student Services Department. We appreciate the gift that draws our attention back to ourselves every day. ASB purchased Choose Kind t-shirts and made buttons of encouragement for student lanyards that have been awarded to the students, stepping up and standing out for their kinds of actness around the campus. Congratulations to our students from Miss Kiana Moore and Miss Jana Luna for winning the 6th grade Knowledge Bowl. They did a great job finishing on top to be crowned Knowledge Bowl champions this round. We look forward to our 7th and 8th grade event next month. During November and December, Cole will be collecting donations for Kiwanis and Rialto Food Bank as part of our annual season of support. Every day of school, we have assigned a specific food item, and our hope is that our donation will be able to feed many families in the community. Have you been on Cove's campus lately? If not, you must take a trip to see all of our new paintings, campus designs, and artwork that have been added to our awesome campus, including the Class of 2020 gift of signs that will go up on the upper level of the buildings in the quad. Our campus looks completely renewed with color and Cougar pride. Next week, we will shower #Cove Cougars Family Royal and Blue silicone bands all around campus as a reminder of our bond we continue to focus on as we build up our student and staff relationships. And with that, Bernardo and I would like to welcome you to the family. #Cove Cougars Family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go Cougars.
Thank you.
I'm Team Orange.
Okay, next up from representing Cusera Middle School, we have Erica Zamora.
Welcome.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Erica Zamora, representing Cusera Middle School. I'd like to start off by saying that the month of October has impacted our students greatly. To help kick off the district's anti-bullying campaign, which is also known as Courage, there was 2 assemblies that were held that helped our students rethink how they act and be grateful for what they have. The first assembly was on October 4th, and this was Rachel's Challenge. Throughout the entire assembly, everybody was focused and paying attention. It was clear that everyone was being impacted by the story of Rachel Joy Scott, because many broke into tears after hearing the details she did for everyone and how her life impacted many people. Every student at Cusera took to the 5 challenges that were during the assembly. These challenges were look for the best in others, dream big, choose positive influences, speak with kindness, and start your own chain reaction. After the assembly, many signed the banner that was placed in the quad to take the pledge to spread more kindness. The impact of the presentation on the students started immediately. Many were still sobbing at lunch and had already started apologizing to people they may have hurt in the past. Also, everyone was going around giving hugs and high fives to random people that they don't know. During 5th and 6th period, our ASB students teamed up with our English learners to start Casera's 4 Club. This stands for Friends of Rachel's Club. We came up with outstanding ideas to start spreading more kindness throughout Casera. One of the ideas that has already started is an Instagram account that states positive traits about the students that attend Casera Middle School. A picture is posted of the student, and in the description, it explains positive qualities about the students, and others can express their positivity in the comment section below. The account is being run by ASB students, and the account is called Casera's Challenge. Also, positive messages are being posted around the campus to help shift to a more positive school climate. The other assembly was by Roy Juarez Jr., who spoke to all 8th graders. He was explaining his rough childhood and how he went from being homeless and poor to being successful and a motivational speaker. Many students began to rethink how grateful they are for what they have and the support they get from their parents and teachers. He explained his story through some humor, but most of his presentation was sad and heartfelt. Casera's Advent Night occurred on October 17th. There was a great turnout, and the expected amount, 80 families, turned into 100. This was a major success. Parents were engaged in the experiments and participated in groups that they were in. Also, the Parent Summit included a few volunteers from Casera. ASB, cheerleaders, volleyball, and our mascot attended the summit as well. All of the students that attended really enjoyed it and said it was fun. During this week, we were having a Spirit Week in honor of Red Ribbon Week. Each day is related to being drug-free and not accepting drugs. For example, Monday was Peace Out Drugs, so students wore peace signs or tie-dye to support our drug-free campus. Also, we had to join the fight against drugs and wear camouflage on Tuesday. Our English learner students will be taking a field trip to UCLA on October 31st. They will be getting a tour around the campus and will be able to enter the classrooms as well. Our tutoring program kicked off the 2nd week of October. Many students were participating in tutoring to get the extra support they need in math and English. Finally, Casera had its first honor roll assembly of the year. There were many students for each grade level receiving awards, and many parents attended to support their children. Congratulations to our 6th graders because they received more awards this year than in previous years. Also, our Casera cheerleaders and ROTC performed great during the assembly. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a great night.
Next, representing JU Middle School, we have Jessica Armenta.
Good evening, President Montes, Honorable Board, Superintendent Avila, and viewing audience. I am Jessica Armenta, member of JHU's ASB. JHU has some goalishly spooky events planned for the rest of this month, but we started it with Anti-Bullying Week. We had Spirit Days and participants received courage bracelets. ASB went into several classrooms and worked with students on being bullying-free. Each class received a We Agree to Be Bully-Free poster that everyone in the classes signed. Our PBIS team is working on a spine-tingling PBIS Pause Awards party this Thursday, 6th period in the quad. ASB and Webb are working to pass out the invites. ASB will be running music and games for over 500 participants, and PTSA will supply water and a popsicle. What a great time. Come over and see if you can win the game of musical chairs with over 500 people. We will be having a spooktacular time at the Halloween dance next Tuesday, October 29th. Bring your favorite ghosts and goblins. Stop by and join the fun. Our annual Spooky Door Decorating Contest comes to a conclusion on October 31st. No tricks, only treats for our winners. Come over and see our doors. Our fantastic administrators and counselors will be rolling out the red carpet for our ghosts and goblins for the honor roll assemblies on Friday, November 1st. Help us celebrate our spooky scholars. Leave your cauldrons behind and come to JHU Night at the Ontario Reign Hockey Game, Friday, November 1st. Cheer will be performing, and you can help ASB hold the Reign flag out on the ice. Tickets are still available. Contact Miss Dean and get your ticket to join the Jaguars. She might let you take her place on the Zamboni. STEM Club is celebrating Dia de los Muertos in the library November 1st with a very nice display. JHU would like to congratulate our fabulous sports teams, with football making it to the championships and volleyball winning the championships undefeated. Drama Club is getting a play ready for Red Ribbon Week that they will be presenting every period on Friday in the gym. Don't miss the opportunity to see how to be drug-free. We close our activities before our week off with our annual can drive that starts November 4th. We keep outdoing ourselves every year, so we are hoping to beat the 450 cans we donated last year. If you want to help us beat our own personal goal and help out needy families in our community, bring your canned goods over to JHU. Before a black cat crosses my path, I am Jessica Armenta signing off with our school motto. Giving our best, never settling for less. Have a goblin-free evening, everyone, and may you all enjoy your rest of the week.
Next up, we have Emily Felix representing Frisbee Middle School.
Good evening, honorable board members, Superintendent Dr. Avila, parents, community members, and student peers. I am Emily Felix, ASB president, and I am representing Frisbee Middle School. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate the football team for going undefeated and winning the championships. Our month of October was a very eventful month. We wrapped up our Hispanic Heritage Month celebration that lasted all month. Every Tuesday, we had activities related to Hispanic Heritage Month. We made paper flowers, had a ballet folklorico, played loteria, and ended it in a grand fiesta in the quad. Rialto High School dancers came out to perform, and it was one giant party. If you weren't there, you definitely missed out. We also kicked off our anti-bullying month with our It's Simple, Be Kind week. We had our No One Dances Alone workshop where we learned the Thriller dance and made thank you cards and friendship bracelets. We have 2 special assemblies lined up this week and next week to send the message that bullying will not be tolerated on our campus. We have recently launched our Say No to Drugs campaign, and we'll have the club live lunch activity tomorrow, where students will get to experience what it's like to be in a car with someone under the influence by riding tricycles, wearing specially designed goggles that impair your vision. We hope to send the message that it's never okay to be in the car with someone under the influence or even drive like that. With such a busy October, we can't wait to see what November brings us. Thank you all for this evening.
And last but not least, we have Michaela Lopez representing Rialto Middle School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Michaela Lopez, and I am the proud ASB president of Rialto Middle School. As a school site, RMS has made significant growth both instructionally and culturally. This school year, the RMS staff and students are focused on full inclusion of all students on our campus. Rialto Middle School is where every student fits in. This school year, the RMS Tigers are extremely busy with a plethora of exciting activities and events on campus. In September, RMS welcomed all of their new Tigers with a special 6th grade dance after school. RMS also completed its major fall fundraiser, which raised over $22,000 for our school site. October events On October 6, 2019, RMS celebrated its 2nd annual college kickoff. During college kickoff, students and their parents participated in various workshops related to financial aid and scholarships, PSAT, college A through G requirements, career inventory, NCAA requirements. The RMS Tigers finished our day out with a phenomenal campus tailgate during both lunches.
RMS also celebrated students' reclassification with a pancake breakfast for all students and their parents on Tuesday, October 22, 2019. The site celebrated the reclassification of over 20 students because hard work goes a long way at RMS. Rialto Middle School is currently busy celebrating both Bully Prevention Month and Red Ribbon Week activities. Daily, all students have access to positive messages and expectation pledges and PBIS reminders to ensure all students model the Tiger Way both on and off campus. Congratulations to our flag football team and our girls volleyball team. They worked extremely hard this season. The RMS Running Club will participate in the upcoming Run Around the Rocks race with 2 teams. Lastly, I would like to invite the entire Rialto community to Rialto Middle's Blaze Pizza fundraiser on Thursday, October 24th, 2019. The fundraiser will start promptly at 4 p.m. at Blaze Pizza, located in the Renaissance Shopping Center. I look forward to bringing you additional news and updates from Rialto Middle School in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aviance Douglas, for your help with that. Next, we go to item 2, presentations to San Bernardino County STEP Cons STEP Keynote Scholarship Bridge Builder Award recipient Diana Vasquez from Rialto High School.
Oh, no.
And our very own Vice President, Miss Nancy O'Calley, is going to help us with this presentation.
Well, I could probably use this, but I'll try not to. Okay. Well, I am very proud to present this award. On October 1st, Diana Vasquez, senior at Rialto High School, was the only student from San Bernardino County Schools to present a keynote for the StepCon STEM conference held in Riverside. After dazzling an audience of over 400 with her speech, Diana also received a scholarship check from StepCon. Let's find out more about this bright 17-year-old bridge builder. Diana was born in La Barca, Jalisco. She lives in Rialto with her mother and her brothers. Her favorite subjects are biology and history. And she says, I like biology because it explains the entire process of how a living organism is created. I also like history because, like biology, you get to witness how civilizations came to be. After college, Diana would like to pursue a career in civil or mechanical engineering. Diana said, the thing I love about STEM is that it challenges me and pushes me to be more creative to solve problems. In her spare time, Diana likes to read and hang out with friends at the movies. Rialto High Mesa teacher, Mr. Michael Thompson, is Diana's favorite teacher. We've seen him here many times because he has been very awarded over the years. The district and Mesa's award-winning educator was also at StepCon supporting Diana. She is an amazing student with a great attitude and an amazing sense of humor. Diana has the determination and willpower to do what she wants to do and be successful at it, replied Mr. Thompson. When she hits an obstacle, it doesn't slow her down. It just makes her push back twice as hard to get over it. Diana's RHS principal, Dr. Sweeney, added, she's a prime example of how grit, determination, and self-motivation can help you access your dreams. Diana knows her strengths and weaknesses and capitalizes on what brings her joy. There is no doubt that she will someday achieve her dreams. We are just proud that at Rialto High School we got to share these experiences with her and have traveled along with her on her journey. She makes Rialto High proud, and as well, she makes the Rialto District very proud. Diana, you are a bridge builder. Your passion for knowledge doesn't stop in a classroom existence. It extends to inspire other students. Congratulations, Diana. Continue to be a bridge builder. And I would like to present Diana with the Bridge Builder Award. And it says Rialto High Student Excellence in STEPCon STEM Education. Selected as the only student from San Bernardino County Schools to represent the STEPCon STEM Conference as keynote and scholarship recipient. Diana is a bridge builder for Rialto High School.
Speech.
Thank you. So, I mean, you guys can probably tell I'm pretty known for my speeches. Sometimes they're pretty funny, sometimes. I would just like to thank my teacher, Michael Thompson, because he puts in effort. He stays there after school every day. When sometimes we stay behind on the projects, we procrastinate a little bit, he's there for us. My mom, I would like to thank my mom. She's always been there for me, whatever I need, whenever I need it, even when I'm being a little bit mean. She's always there. But they're really the people that push me the most. Like, they always tell me, like, you can do better. What is this project? You can do better. And thanks to them, I'm doing, like, mentoring projects, like mentoring programs. I created my own mentoring program under Mr. Thompson's guidance. And we're throwing competitions for elementaries and middle schools. And my mom, she's always there for me. She always, like, stays up with me when I'm crying, when I'm, like, so sad. And then, like, when I procrastinate on my homework, she's still there helping me. And then Thompson's there too. Like, when I had my surgery, he was the first one to text me, like, are you okay? Like, how do you feel? And thanks to these people, like, I was able to, like, achieve the accomplishments I have now. And I'm able to tell you guys about them because in reality, I'm just a product of their hard work.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Can we have Mr. Thompson and Diana's mother up here with her?
We can get the board around it. Sure. Dr. D'Souza, why don't you come on up, Dr. D'Souza. You're the STEM leader. I know you were there. Let's get, we can't see Dr. Sweeney. You guys are shy here. Good.
I think we need an upgrade. The new iPhone 11's got that button you can zoom out from.
I can't see my superintendent at all. Yeah, so we, little, there you go. No.
The brain just mixes with my gray.
Maybe can I have you on? Yeah. Ready.
Congratulations.
And we want to thank the principal, Dr. Sweeney, for coming out to support her school too. Thank you, Dr. Sweeney. Next, we go to presentations. Carter High School UCR Mesa High School of the Year and Miss Catherine Sanchez, Carter High School Mesa teacher, Bridge Builders Award recipient, and our very own board member, Mr. Joseph Martinez, is going to help us with this presentation.
Thank you, President Montez. And with me is Dr. Carlos Gonzalez, Curriculum Specialist from UCR Mesa's program. Please, if you have something, go ahead.
Yes, I do have something. It's not my first time here either. And I also was the co-chair for the conference where Diana spoke. So we were happy to have her and to organize that event for our educators and our students in this area. Distinguished board, superintendent, it's really our honor to recognize Carter High School today and Miss Catherine Sanchez. I've known Miss Sanchez, like they called her, It seems like these teachers that the students love, they just call them by last names, Thompson, Sanchez. She's awesome. I'll cut it short because if you went to the STEP conference, you can see I can be up in the microphone for like ever and ever. He's starting his head. But I really want to make it short. The schools that we honor for this for the achievement of schools of the year. The backbone usually of the schools are the teachers that run the program, or the teachers that help us administer the program at the schools. Mrs. Sanchez has been part of Mesa ever since, almost since I began there back in 2006, I think, something like that. I'm telling you, I'm getting old. All this white hair came from somewhere. That and marriage. That and fatherhood. What can I say about Ms. Sanchez? She's so reliable, dependable. I can see the passion she has for her students. She's done everything in the MESA program, from run events at our big competitions to help us run camps on campus. We even went to a conference together, and we didn't leave her behind like we did one teacher that one time. But it wasn't you, right? But she's experienced everything in the program. She's such a great teacher and such a great MESA teacher. When she went to Carter High School, we saw just the renaissance of the program there. I remember going to the school, seeing her in action, seeing her students, and it's been amazing to watch what the program has become at Carter High School. So it's an honor to be here, and it's so wonderful to recognize Carter High School, recognize her, and for her to see her receive this award. I think it's I wouldn't say it's overdue, but I'm so glad that you're getting it.
I just want to say thank you, Carlos. I know we've been together for like about 14 years. That's a long time. And Thompson, you're my idol that I'm working to get where I need to. Yeah, dethrone. No. Okay. We work together. We're family. And my family, because for all the long hours, my kids have gone with me all the time to Mesa, so we've always been a Mesa family as well. My parents, who have always supported me. Unfortunately, my father couldn't be here because he was not feeling well. And all my students, because they're the ones that make the program, and they're the ones, they go in there and they work hard, and if they want to stay late, we stay late. We do whatever is possible to make the program. Everyone, as well as the staff there at Carter, everyone is very supportive and helpful in anything that I need for the program. So I just want to thank everyone, and for being my support and being my backbone for this program.
So I do have a plaque that hopefully is displayed proudly in the somewhere in the school, prominently, I hope. And it says that this award is given to a high school every year that runs an outstanding, distinguished, and effective local MESA program that best promotes and advances the goals and objectives of what our program is about in Mesa. So this plaque is going to the school.
And Dr. Mr. Gonzalez, if we can get a picture of both the principals that are here to accept that with a teacher, and then we'll let our board member continue with his presentation as well. Can we do that real quick? Sure. With the teacher and Mr. And then Mr. Gonzalez, if we can take a seat, we'll bring you back up for our Board of Education spot. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Okay, as we continue, Carter High School, home of the Lions, have roared into another regional recognition for STEM. Over the previous academic year, Carter has been a supportive, hardworking, and active participant in the UCR Mesa Schools program, and has proven to be a conducive environment for the program to flourish and succeed, according to UCR Mesa officials. Tonight, the Rialto Unified School District is honored to recognize Carter High School and Mrs. Sanchez for doing an outstanding job of ensuring the program as a school aligns with the Mesa mission to propel student diversity and achievement in science, technology, engineering, and math. Every year, the UCR Mesa School Program recognizes an outstanding high school for their excellent work and advancement in Mesa, and Carter High School has unquestionably earned that recognition for the 2018-2019 academic year. We congratulate past and present administration team, support staff, all of the hardworking science teachers, but especially a big thank you to Ms. Sanchez, the face of Mesa at Carter High School. She is also a Carter parent, much like past Carter principal, now agent Dr. Chavez is. Thank you and congratulations, Team Carter. And we have a little bling for you. Excellence in Mesa Education, Carter High School, in recognition to our students and teachers at Wilma Amina Carter High School for earning UCR's Mesa High School of the Year. Excellence in innovative and rigorous scientific methods and research competition. The board and all us suits, we're down here too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay. I will continue. And unfortunately, I stress tested the bridge.
Yeah.
We'll get that fixed for you.
Yeah, we have both the principals right behind you too.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That's why they didn't get the
Okay. And that's for this one. Okay, continue.
You can go ahead and move on.
Okay, and tonight we honor a wonderful woman who is the face of UCR Mesa program on her campus. As a bridge builder, work on this. Carter High School teacher, Miss Catherine Sanchez, 10 years ago, also helped Kolb Middle School with its first UCR Mesa Middle School of the Year honor. And tonight, her school, Carter High, is being awarded as Mesa High School of the Year for 2018-2019 school year. A program is not great alone. The legwork and the brains behind the school honor belongs to Ms. Sanchez, who Carter High School principal Dr. Greg Anderson says is the face of the Mesa program at Carter High School. So let's get to know a little about Ms. Sanchez. She was born in Rolling Hills, California, and resides in the city of Victorville. So dry. Excuse me. Excuse me, grab a drink of water. It's either that or else embarrass myself again. Okay, she began working the Rialto Unified School District in 2005, first at Kolb Middle School for 13 years, and then at Carter High School 2 years ago. Ms. Sanchez has two children, Laura Wade and a senior, Zachary Wade. Are they here with you? Come on up. Good-looking kids. Zachary Wade, a sophomore. They are both at Carter High School. Dr. Anderson stated, Ms. Sanchez's selfless dedication to the success of our students and their success has bled to the other teachers in our program. The greatest compliment one can be given is that they make others around them better. And our program, excuse me, and our program has been built on this foundation. Ms. Sanchez embodies this spirit and pushes all those around her to get better on a daily basis. Thank you. Congratulations, Ms. Sanchez, for being the bridge builder who is a pillar of academic success for our science students and for putting Carter High School on the map as a Mesa High School of the Year.
Again, honorable board members, Superintendent Avila, I am very honored on this award, but again, I cannot take all this recognition by myself, because again, this is the students that I work with daily. This is a program that I've been very proud and enjoy working with. When I met Carlos, it was during the summertime, and I told him if he could come out during the summertime to get Mesa at Cope Middle School. And I promised the principal at that time that this program was going to take us very far and help our students in science and math. And that it did. I even had Carlos at one time bring some people that were going to be donating some money, and I did not know this, but they came to see my classroom, and they and they were very impressed of what my students were doing in the classroom. And matter of fact, it wasn't even my Mesa kids, it was my science class, because they got there late, and so they were very impressed. And Carlos told me afterwards, he goes, "We got the money." I go, "What money? What are you talking about?" And he goes, "I didn't tell you, but whatever you were going to do in that classroom was going to ensure that we got a check from these people." And I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's just the joy that I have in teaching these students and just seeing their smiles and their hard work that just makes it so much easier to work with this program and enjoy doing this program every day. And I will continue doing and supporting this program as long as it goes. So, thank you.
I just want to thank the UCR Mesa program for their generous hospitality and recognizing both Rialto High School and Carter High School. It's a pleasure to have a program, as great as this is to service our students, and it's a testament to what our students at Carter High School are working on under the guidance of Ms. Sanchez and team. So again, thank you very much. We very humbly accept.
How can you not?
But, I mean, what can I say? This woman's amazing. We were blessed to be able to bring her on, steal her from Kolb a few years ago, and she definitely delivered. She told me, "I will not let you down. We will turn this program around. It's going to be awesome. It's going to, we're going to do some good things for kids," and she definitely has. So congratulations, well deserved. So proud of you. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else the program will bring in the next few years. Congratulations.
And are there any students here from Carter High School? Parents here from Carter High School? Parents, come on up.
You're on the cool side.
It was nice to meet you. I used to be principal last years ago.
Yes. Decoration, yes. Office decor.
And Carlos, please make sure to continue to keep bringing those people to our teachers' classrooms.
Right.
Yes. All right, that takes us to number 4, LCAP, Local Indicators for the California School Dashboard, and Carol Mahachko, Academic Agent, Special Programs, and Paulina Villalobos, Agent, Academic Technology, will help us with this presentation.
Chairs back here.
So good evening, board and superintendent and viewing audience. As was announced, my name is Carol Mahachko. I'm the academic agent for special programs. I am somewhat of the facilitator for our LCAP, Local Control Accountability Plan. And Paulina Villalobos is with me, and she is our California Dashboard Coordinator, in addition to being the agent for academic technology. So we're going to tag team this presentation. So last year it was actually Mr. John Roach who shared this presentation with all of you. This is an annual event. And so we want to share the latest information to you about the local indicators for the California Dashboard. So just to start out, especially for our viewing audience, and I don't know what it is every time is it because I don't have it on? Nope. Let's see if that does it. I don't know what it is. Every time I get up here, this.
It's not used. Technology. So it's on. Hold on 1 second. Carol? Go ahead.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the first slide that I have is just especially for our viewing audience in education. A lot of times we use short names for things, acronyms. So on this slide that's going to appear right now, there is just 3 that are particular to this presentation that you'll hear us refer to sometimes instead of using the longer name. So one is LCFF, Local Control Funding Formula. The next is LCAP, which I already kind of explained because that is the main reason I'm physically here, is the Local Control Accountability Plan. And other times you'll also see LEA, and that stands for a local education agency, and basically that's synonymous with the district. So again, it's a way of us to be able to transcribe a little of our education ease. So these local indicators that we are presenting to you right now, they are the priorities where the data is not collected at the state level. So our LEA or district, we will measure and report it as progress through the dashboard based on our locally collected data. And it looks like we're still trying to get that to work.
Hold on 1 second.
I'll just pause for a minute. Okay, there we go.
I got it. We got it. We got it.
Okay. Takes a village. But it's always great to have a village to help us here.
Mr. Kelly, thank you, Mr. Kelly.
So again, here are the terms that we'll be using, and that's what I just summarized. So we are reporting on the local indicators. Now, the state has indicators that they report based on the data that they receive, and on the left-hand side, it shows all those things that the state reports. But locally, these are the areas that we report on, and it's either through different surveys or other data that we have collected, and this really presentation is aimed at this right-hand side of the local indicators of what we've reflected upon based on different data points we received and how we're going to report it to the state. So why do we have our local indicators? If you remember way back when we started our LCAP journey as a state in 2013-14, that local control is a key component. And so that's why they wanted to have indicators as well, that the district would control and self-report, that it wasn't just the state reporting everything. So I mentioned the dashboard before, and that Paulina's role is the dashboard coordinator, meaning working on the back end and being able to log in and to be able to control that piece. The dashboard is basically one piece. We have pieces with the state data. The next part is our local data, what other resources we use to measure our progress. And those flow together to the progress that we write in the LCAP, and how we are going to spend those funds, how we're going to evaluate services, and how we're going to make those decisions in the best interest of students. So for us, when the California dashboard is public in December, these local indicators will also be published, but you'll notice it will just say MET. And to be MET means that we have done these bullets. So we are actually, we're reporting at the district level, we're measuring progress, we're doing this presentation tonight, and notice it has to be submitted by November 1st, so that's why we're at this particular meeting. So I'm going to share the details with you, along with Paulina, of how we're self-reporting, but everything in these indicators will say MET because we've done our job and we've done it on time. And that is the website to get to our LCAP. We just started to meet with the new stakeholders group to work on the 2020-22 draft, and so we are just starting that input session. So I'm going to cover the first few priorities. The first is priority 1. You probably recognize in there the Williams settlement requirements. Williams settlement has been around it's probably into decades now, because I think it's 2002, 2003. And essentially, we're self-reporting the progress we've made. We are still monitored on an annual basis with Williams in these 3 areas, so I'm going to show you again how we are self-reporting. So in regards to the first priority, that has to do with teacher credentialing. No misassignments were reported. No teacher misassignments were reported for English learners. And as of the time of this, and again, this is based on 18-19 data, there were 3 vacant teacher positions at that moment in time, the first 20 days, when that was reported. Now, the next part, which is part 2 of 3, the number of students without access to their own copies of materials to use at school and home. We use the state definition. So essentially that means that we don't have to necessarily have the 2 sets of materials, but students have access to those materials and have the ability of taking them home if they need to. So again, that's monitored, every beginning of the school year. Now, this next one is about the facilities, and it says about the instances where we reported do not meet the good repair standard. So based on 17-18 data, we actually had 17 things reported. And this is the definition. Again, it's not a big safety issue. It could be on that given day there was something that was not found to be in good repair, and that was cited. In the 16-17 school year, prior to that, they could fix things in that moment. And so that was never reported. But now, even if you do fix things on that given day, it is still reported. And I kind of conferred with Beth Curtis, who oversees this work. And actually, Rialto does much better than some of our colleagues in other districts in San Bernardino. And I was looking at the numbers, and they are quite low for these things that are reported in good repair. So again, that is for this priority 1, which is essentially just a summary of our Williams settlement reporting. So priority 2 is really our teachers' self-assessment of how well we are implementing the state academic standards. So again, this is a survey we're sending out to our certificated staff members. We also got REA and Lisa to help with putting that survey out as well to get an added push. And in each of the areas, the teachers are asked to rate how well are we implementing. Now, the past probably decade or so, the state has done some work with implementation science, and this rating scale is actually based on that. And so it's how well are we implementing? And just kind of an interesting little fact, and I included this visual with the survey so that they would have something to anchor their responses to. According to implementation science, that of all the initiatives in school that we implement, only about basically anything for full implementation, only 5% of our initiatives ever get to that point. Because we have kind of sometimes this cycle of, abandoning things without necessarily following through. And so the state's made a concerted effort of using that kind of language of how well you implementing. So it wasn't really their preference about kind of agree, disagree, so they're rating on that scale. So in providing professional learning for teaching in the core subject areas, this is the results from the survey. So again, the 4 and 5 are full implementation, and of course 1 would be at that beginning stages of implementation. You can see for the most part all the areas, English, language arts, ELD, and math are at a 4. Science is at a 3. And last year we reported history, social science at a 3, but we actually implemented last school year a new history, social science curriculum, K-12, and we noticed that it actually went from a 3 to a 4. So it's probably reflecting new materials as well as the training, because this is professional development. And we are looking to, for the coming school year, looking at those science materials. Now, in this one, it's about the instructional materials themselves and available in the core subject areas. And again, you'll see some similar results. Again, it's hard with surveys because it is kind of their impression, which of course their impression is their reality, but history, social science, it could be because we just got the materials last year and people are getting familiar with that. But again, this is how teachers self-rated. And in the next area, it's about implementing policies or programs to support staff in the core subject areas. So you can see here, there is a little more variation, like for example, ELD is that initial implementation. Again, you can see next generation science and history, social science are still at that initial implementation as well. And then the next question that they're asked is to rate the local education agency, which again is district, rate the district's progress in implementing each of the following standards themselves. And again, you can see how teachers reflected on that and where they felt the district was in implementation. And then this has to do with different areas as well, and as far as following activities with teachers and school administrators. And again, these are some different questions but the same scale. Identifying professional needs, learning needs of groups of teachers, again, that they had rated at initial implementation. Identifying the learning needs of individual teachers, and then providing support. So this kind of can show the areas of where we can kind of see as a next step in supporting our teachers. Making sure that we include their voice in the type of professional development and those kind of follow through things. So that was essentially the first 2 priorities. Now priority 3 is actually one that got a little bit of a makeover by the state this past school year. It once was like an overarching category, and all it said is, are you providing family engagement for your parents? It is now into 3 parts, and it's going more in depth. So not only did we survey teachers and administrators, but there's 2 additional surveys that you can see with your packet. One is surveys that were completed in the spring of 2019 for English learner parents, and the other is our Title I parent survey. So we use that data to reflect the parent voice, because we actually had lots of responses in those areas. So some of these questions are going to be at the staff level of how we're supporting and training our staff to increase family engagement, and some are from the parent perspective. So again, the same rating scale, it's all tied to implementation of how well we're implementing. So the first one is building relationships. So you can see here, developing the capacity of staff to build trusting and respectful relationships. Again, with surveys, we felt we were at that initial phase. We're not to the full implementation, but still building. Creating welcoming environments. This is one area that the staff had rated higher at a 4 at full, but the parents reflected that might be an area we need to continue to work on. So again, that's how the data points came together to kind of make that big picture. And just to kind of talk a little bit, I overlooked the number of surveys we had. For spring of 2019, for the Title I parent surveys, we got 4,261 responses. And for the English learner parent one, we had 1,515. So we definitely had some good voice of parents, and we will be doing that activity again in the coming spring. So the next piece is building partnerships for our student outcomes. So providing professional learning and support to teachers and principals. Again, the survey audience was administrators and teachers. Providing LEA and providing families with information and resources was something that was rated a little bit higher. As far as the district's progress in implementing policies or programs for teachers to meet with families and students to discuss, again, the staff rated this a little bit higher, but based on parent input, it kind of came down to a little bit lower as an area that we can continue to improve upon. And again, the last one you can see is as far as supporting families to understand, exercise their rights at that initial implementation. And the final piece is how do we involve our parents and stakeholders into seeking input for decision making. So again, you can kind of see where the ratings are with the district's progress in building capacity and supporting principals and staff, rated at initial. Building capacity and supporting family members to engage in advisory and decision making, again, initial. So all of these just show an area of where we're at, and that can help to point us to where we need to go next to make that closer to full implementation. So again, instead of just one overall, the state wanted us to take a deeper look, and this is how we're actually reporting it to the state. So there is also a narrative piece that I'll be working with Paulina that will be writing basically like where our data says and where we're getting that information. So again, those are the first 3 priorities. And so I'm actually going to pass the baton to Paulina.
So tag, I'm it. Again, my name is Paulina Villalobos, and I'm going to go over priority 6 and 7. So priority 6 has to do with school climate. And in order to
lift the microphone up a little bit?
A little bit up? Mm-hmm. No problem. So in order to meet this priority, we have to administer a local climate survey every other year. And we use the California Healthy Kids Survey, which we just gave last school year. So there are 3 parts to priority 6, and the first part has to do with just looking at the data. So there's 2 things I want to bring your attention to. The first one is the data shows that as students progress from elementary to middle to high school, we see that they feel less safe at school and less connected at school. The second thing that I want to point out is the fact that we had less than 50% participation rate in 3 out of our 4 grade levels. So again, that's that same data that I just showed you, but now it's disaggregated by some of our groups. And again, the data shows that as our students progress from elementary to secondary, they feel less safe and less connected to school. So part 2 is asking us for an analysis of the data. What did the data reveal? And again, our data suggests that as students move from elementary to secondary, they feel less safe and less connected. However, one of our immediate goals is to make sure we increase participation to get more students to respond to this survey so that the results are more valid. And lastly, part 3, now that we've seen the data, what is our response to the data? What are we going to do for our students? So our district has already taken steps to address issues of safety and school connectedness at all levels. We've implemented social emotional learning curriculum at each school site. The kindness campaign seeks to create an environment where we all feel respected and valued. Courage, our bully prevention campaign, seeks to train all our stakeholders on how to identify, prevent, and intervene in bullying situations. We have wellness centers at our middle and high schools that offer intervention and prevention services to our students. We've taken steps to create crisis response teams at each of our school sites. And our sites have also developed safe school plans in collaboration with community stakeholders and parents. So now we go on to priority 7. So priority 7 has to do with ensuring that our students have access to a broad course of study. There are 4 parts, and the first part is just to identify tools that we use to track the extent to which our students have access to a broad course of study. And we've identified 3 tools, and that's the Transcript Evaluation Service, TES, the A through G audit from Riverside County Office of Education, and our student-created 4-year plans. Part 2, now that we've seen those tools, what do those tools, what data do those tools provide us? So the data shows us that A through G has increased by approximately 3.5%, and our male students of color have increased by 2%. We're continuing to build school site capacity to use the data collected to identify students who are 2 or less courses deficient in meeting A through G. Practices have been initiated to reduce disproportionality, but the data also suggests that we have to continue to focus on some groups of students, our African American students, English learners, students with disabilities, and our McKinney-Vento identified students. Part 3 has to do with barriers. What is preventing us from providing access to a broad course of study to all our students? Here are a few of them that we identified. We need a unified and collaborative timeline that guides student placement based on data, clear expectations about how that data informs student course placement and counseling advisement. The need for intervention classes and repeated coursework continues to be an issue. And we need to increase the collaboration with informational technology to provide timely and accurate reporting. And finally, the part 4 is our response. So what revisions, decisions, or new actions are we going to take to ensure our students have access to a broad course of study? So we have our COSA, our Counselor on Special Assignment. We're going to continue to use TES data services and continue to have our students create 4-year plans. We're going to implement evidence-based student course placement, increase collaboration to provide timely and accurate reporting, develop clear expectations, support efforts to monitor progress, and we have our equity action teams in place.
So I know that's a lot of information that we covered, but essentially this is, our information item to share with board members, but as well as the public, based on our reflection, how we're going to report to the state. And so each of the indicators, and just as a quick review, priority 1 was those Williams requirements that we, work with the county with. Priority 2 is, again, our teachers' opinion as far as the support they might need and the improvements we need to do in implementing our state standards. Priority 3 is our efforts in parent and family engagement. So again, we see as a summary there that we need to continue those professional development opportunities for their staff to continue to build those relationships. And then priority 6, again, with school climate, to make sure that all our students feel safe and connected to school. And finally, with priority 7, that we're monitoring and making improvements to ensure a broad course of study for all students. So that's our quick summary and quick presentation to all of you, but if there's any questions at this time?
Thank you for your hard work.
I have a couple of questions. Oh, go. Oh, okay. So, thank you again for all the information, and kudos to getting 4,000 parents to do the survey. How did you do it?
Well, I will say it was not just my efforts at all. It was really the school site efforts. So I worked directly with the school sites, and basically just making that a priority, saying we need these voices of parents. The previous year for Title I, we only had 900 responses, and so a lot of the school sites worked directly of like having spaces available for the parents to complete it. There was paper surveys as well. Some of them even took the time to enter data in, if that needed to be happening. Some of them at the elementary level did like rewards for the most most students that brought it back in a class got a reward. So different things like that. But I think that we're getting closer of getting more of the parent voice, and I hope that we can double that number this year.
Yeah, I mean, still that number is a good number, a good sample. So on the flip side then, the students, how are we actually trying to get, what tools are we using to get the student voice? Because I know that's a challenge. Right. What are we actually using now, and how are we?
Well, as far as for the California Healthy Survey, I'm going to ask Angela to come up to speak because that's under student services. Okay. I will say on the LCAP part, we did have surveys as well that we had over 5,000 students respond, and it was just, again, having different staff bring the kids to a computer lab, just kind of putting that expectation out there and getting their voices. But I know Angela can speak to the Healthy Kids.
Good evening, Angela Brantley, Lead Student Services Agent, and I have also with me Bernadette Bunny Brown, who is our Coordinator for Health Services. She and I do the California Healthy Kids Survey together. And so one of the challenges that we had this year was actually getting our administrators to help us follow through with getting those assessments done. So in the fall, and it wasn't this year, but last fall, because we do it every other year, we offered training in September, October. The window was open through December. We even extended the window, monitored every week, sent emails to the administrators to say, please make sure you get the student voice because it's 5th, 7th, 9th, and 11th grade. And so part of our goal for next year is to really push and closely monitor and have a little bit more accountability on our administrators to make sure that it's done.
Okay. So, yeah, I know that was a challenge the last time that you presented on it, and the sample wasn't that diverse.
Right. And so, yeah, it looked like maybe 7th grade, middle schools are doing a little bit better job of making sure that their kids do it because we're asking them to do it through their English classes. Okay. And when you have a lot of surveys that you're taking, I know that that's a challenge for our principals to figure out how many surveys they're offering and getting that. But the California Healthy Kids Survey, because it's the one that is the state is looking at. In addition, we have other ones like Panorama. We are doing more surveys, but because the California Healthy Kids one is the one that the LCAP is going to be looking at, that's what we want our principals to make the priority to make sure it gets done. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one more question, Carol. And it's so many pieces of paper, and I probably need to put my glasses on because they all look the same. So on access to broad course of study, priority 7, part 1 of 1, indicating that we used, as part of that, used the TES, the transcript evaluation service, and the audit from the county. What did that turn up? And
I'm actually going to defer to Dr. D'Souza because Pauline and I in some of these areas are the messenger. So. Okay.
So specifically, I'm looking at what the A through G audit.
So
what did that turn up?
The TES
opportunities and threats.
Right. So the TES report actually showed us where if the kids were missing 1 or 2 courses to make A through G, and so we made it a priority to go and visit each school to make sure the students were enrolled. There were some glitches, and we're working on it because people enroll students in the classes, but we need to make sure that they do follow through, that the kids actually make the grades in those classes too. And so we are actually, I know Dr. Chavez is working with the team so that we have a timeline to look at those events. But we did, Kelly Bruce, myself, and the COSA went to every school to see what they were going to do and how they put those students in those classes from those reports.
Okay. So that's on the TS.
Right.
For the A through G audit, what did that mean in the sense of, I know that they do an audit of all of our schools, right?
Right.
Coursework. What did that turn out?
So basically what they looked at was the courses that they might have missed in the in CalPads. We looked at those courses if they were coded correctly, and made sure that all our courses were coded correctly for CalPads. We also looked at there were so many things that were happening. We were looking at several classes that went to get UC A through G approved, but like the wrong course number might have the previous year course number was used, etc. So, as you know, the transcripts are basically fixed for that school year. So we want to we made sure that for this year the transcripts are reflecting the right course numbers.
Okay, so with that said, ideally we'd be seeing an increase in A through G completion with the corrected coursework.
I'll let Kelly Bruce address that. Yeah.
So when the dust settled, class of 2019, because I was watching this as well, we had, I guess what I call false positives. We ended up with one high school that did have significant gain in A through G, and that was Carter High School.
Right.
I will say this, I think sometimes what gets monitored and watched gets done. And then I think what we had is we had kind of a surprise in terms of a dip or status quo at Rialto High School and Eisenhower. So what we have done this year is we brought the teams back because I think we're too far away from the work to make sure that it's being owned by the school sites. Okay. So we've had each of the high school teams, head counselor, teacher leads, assistant principals, share their story of kind of like you do a debrief after an NFL game to get ready for next Sunday. We've debriefed deeply about what happened because we do know that the processes are really strong, but if you don't watch and encourage and monitor, you can lose it really quick. And so I think that's what happened. What I'm really pleased about is we need to be held accountable so that it's more intentional throughout the entire year from beginning to end with the timeline. And, we've got Dr. Chavez on board, which I think is really powerful because she's recently been in the seat and she's coaching and guiding principals on some of those practices that were higher leverage at Carter than the other two. So I'm not putting down the other two. I'm just saying we're in a better spot to learn and get better at this over time. Dr. D'Souza talked about transcript evaluation service. What we learn is each school's different at each grade level, and you know this because I know your work. So we'll learn, there's two elements we look for. One is it an access issue? They just weren't signed up for the classes. And that could be 4-year plan with the counselor, some errors. The other is, they're in the class, but they're not making it. So are we finding disproportionate D's and F's from particular teachers, and are we having conversations about what does a grade really mean? And you need to watch that for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So it's a change in culture and practice. But you're going to find every year at every grade level for every part of the continuum of A through G is going to be different. So you have to be adaptable and flexible, and you have to have systems in place to monitor it. And so we're learning. The audits were fantastic because they gave us that data. But it's what you do with the data.
Exactly. So with that said, all the learning, we learned a whole lot.
One more piece of learning is that the A through G is also calculated by the cohorts. So even the attendance office plays a big role how we drop students, because if they're not dropped, they still show up on that list.
So and I know this is, moving forward, right? So you're saying about, putting in the system so that you can actually monitor it. Now that you have the audit, you have that. And where's Dr. Chavez? She's gone already? She's the person who's going to be in charge of monitoring what that looks like?
There's spreadsheets that go to each counselor. It's their caseload. And just to give you an example, 12th grade you go first because they're the class of 2020 this year. So the first thing you do is you identify who's really close. If we just, if business as usual, who's going to make it if we monitor? Because we already have most of the courses done by the time they're seniors. What you have to do with that spreadsheet, though, is update it. So you get to first quarter grades right now. We should be looking at who's not making it to give them the support right now so that the semester grade that hits permanently on a transcript is not going to be a D. It's going to be a C or above. And so that's, I think, the next level of intentionality that Dr. Chavez will provide. That's, I think, what was happening more purposefully at Carter than the other two. And so what I love about this is she's the support provider for the high school principals, so she'll be side by side with them with the work. So I'm more confident.
Okay. And then the last question is just on the student created 4-year plans. Are we using a system? Are we using CGI? What are we using to do that for the students?
So we're in the process because the county is giving us CCGI for the next 4 years, so we are looking at that.
That's all. I just want to make sure. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Great information. I definitely want to make sure that the monitoring takes place. The doing and the monitoring takes place. That's going to set us aside from one school having a 40 or 50% A through G rate and another school having 25% A through G rate, right? That's insane, considering we are a small district, right? That we should be learning from each other. And the other piece is, remember, we want to track, we got new homes being built, we got a whole Renaissance corridor of folks coming here. We want them to come into our schools as well. And that's a big indicator of whether or not our kids are going to be eligible to go to college. People look at that and say that. So as much as deliberateness that we can do and really deliberateness that we do to make that happen, it's going to attract more people and keep people in our district as well.
Absolutely.
But thank you for all your hard work on the LCAP and Dr. Bruce Kelly and where did D'Souza? Oh, there you go. Thank you. And Miss Brantley as well. Thank you. No more questions.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. I invent words all the time. I like that. Deliberateness. Right?
Did he say I just invented that?
All right, next. Wait, give me 1 second. No more questions? No more comments?
Comments are just thank you, great work. Keep it up, all of you.
Thank you. And I do apologize. These presentations are supposed to be 10 minutes, but sometimes they turn to an hour.
Some are very important.
No, it is very important information, no doubt about it. Next we go to C, comments, public comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. And first and foremost, we'll go to Mrs. Maria Sandoval.
Again, I need my 6 minutes. Buenas noches, mesa directiva, Presidente Montes y Dr. Ávila. Y audiencia.
An audience.
Mi nombre es María Sandoval.
My name is María Sandoval.
Esta vez vengo a hablarles de lo que viene siendo la administración de la escuela de adultos.
This time I'm here to speak to you about the adult school administration.
En la cual soy una alumna.
Where I am a student.
En el GED de español.
For the GED program in Spanish.
Gracias a mucho esfuerzo, hoy por hoy existe.
And thanks to a lot of efforts, today that does exist.
Porque como padres de familia estuvimos abogando para que ese programa hoy fuera lo que es.
Because as parents, we were advocating for that program to be what it is today.
Desgraciadamente, cuando estábamos pidiendo ese programa, se nos cerraron muchas puertas, hubo mucha resistencia.
Unfortunately, when we were advocating for that program, many doors were closed. There was a lot of resistance to it.
Lo cual se nos dijo primeramente que no había dinero.
At the beginning, we were told there was no money.
A lo cual yo lo cuestioné.
Which is something I questioned.
Y de no sé dónde salió ese dinero.
And I'm not sure where that money came from.
Lo cual también se me dijo que el GED es muy difícil y en español iba a ser más.
I was told that the GED program was very hard and that in Spanish it was going to be even harder.
Lo cual se me hizo ridículo esa respuesta como padre de familia.
As a parent, I thought that answer was ridiculous.
Cualquier persona que quiere alcanzar algo tiene que estudiar y esforzarse. Fue mi respuesta.
Any person who wants to achieve something has to work hard. That was my answer.
Desgraciadamente, una vez más, en esa ocasión tuvimos que acudir a Dr. Ávila.
Unfortunately, on that occasion, and once again, we had to go to Dr. Ávila.
Y explicarle nuestras preocupaciones y lo que queríamos como padres de esta comunidad.
And we had to explain to him our concerns and what we wanted as parents in this community.
Lo cual le quiero agradecer.
And that is something I want to thank him for.
porque gracias a usted
because thanks to you
y a los padres de familia,
and to the parents,
este programa hoy es algo que estamos prácticamente orgullosos de representar,
this is now a program that we are proud to represent.
Porque hay mucha necesidad en nuestra comunidad.
Because there's a lot of need in our community.
También tenemos gracias a la necesidad otra vez más la clase de conversación en inglés.
We also have a conversational English class because there's a need for it.
Y que desgraciadamente es una sola clase y hay lista de espera. Mi pregunta es, ¿por qué sigue habiendo lista de espera? ¿Por qué no se abren más clases?
Unfortunately, it's one class only, and there's a waiting list. And my question basically is, why is there a waiting list? Why don't you open up more classes?
También para el GED en español hay lista de espera.
Also for the Spanish GED program, there's also a waiting list.
Aquí vemos nuevamente donde no hay una equidad.
Once again, we see here a lack of equity.
Y tampoco se nos está proveyendo, no nos están cubriendo nuestras necesidades.
We're also not being provided for our needs.
Que eso significa equidad.
That's what equity means.
Yo le quiero preguntar a Dr. McDuffie.
I want to ask Dr. McDuffie.
¿Qué van a hacer con esas personas, esos empleados que no están poniendo en práctica todo lo que usted y su programa de equidad?
What are you going to do with all those employees who are not putting into practice all that you and your equity program
hasta este momento? Y no solamente con los padres de familia, sino con nuestros estudiantes y con los maestros.
have said up until this moment, and not just with the parents, but also the teachers.
También, desgraciadamente, estoy muy decepcionada.
I'm also, unfortunately, very disappointed
con la directora de la escuela de adultos.
With the principal at the adult school.
Por lo cual estoy más que todo aquí hoy, esta noche.
And that's basically the reason why I'm here tonight.
Tuvimos, en menos de 3 meses, son 3 estudiantes, compañeras mías.
In less than 3 months, we had 3 students, partners of mine,
que pasaron su primer examen de ciencias.
Who approved their first science test.
Lo cual nos sentimos muy orgullosas porque son las primeras estudiantes que han logrado algo, y se le compartió a la directora y ella solamente dijo, oh, pero fue en español.
For which we feel very proud because they were the first ones to achieve something like that. We mentioned this to the principal and her response was, oh, well, it was in Spanish.
Eso para mí es discriminación.
To me, that is discrimination.
No nos están dando el trato digno que nosotros nos merecemos como comunidad.
They're not treating us with the dignity that we as a community deserve.
Y una vez más es donde se presenta la equidad.
And again, once again, we're talking about equity.
Desgraciadamente, tuvimos que decirle, tuvimos que preguntarle el por qué. Una vez más, ¿por qué hacen las cosas hasta que uno se las dice?
And once again, we had to talk to her and ask her why. Why do they do things only until we bring it up to them?
Se molestan porque uno viene y no exigir, no la palabra exigir, es pedir que nos den lo que nosotros nos merecemos.
They are bothered by us coming to not necessarily demand, but rather to ask for those things that we deserve.
Y pues solamente se molestan con uno, le echan la culpa a uno que uno es el problema, nos empiezan a atacar de cierta manera. Tenemos un excelente maestro que es el señor Lara.
They become irritated with us, they blame us, they attack us. We have an excellent teacher who's Mr. Lara.
Y una vez más, yo como padre de familia y estudiante he sentido el acoso, he sentido cómo se nos trata siendo estudiante.
And once again, I as a parent, as a student myself, I have felt the harassment, I have felt the mistreatment as a student.
De cómo nos vienen callando porque tienen un poder más arriba de nosotros.
How they keep shutting us up because they have a power that's above us.
Y tuve esa experiencia en ver ese maestro de que nos dice que él no puede hacer más cosas de las que está haciendo, y uno tiene la voz.
And I have the experience of talking to that teacher, and he tells us, or him telling us, that there's not much more that he can do, but he has the voice.
Y nosotros también como padres de familia y estudiantes adultos que nos podemos defender, se nos trata con esa discriminación.
And we as parents and as adult students who can defend ourselves, we have suffered that discrimination.
Espero, Dr. Ávila
I hope Dr. Avila
y Dr. McDuffie,
and Dr. McDuffie,
que por favor hagan algo,
that you please do something.
Pero ya en serio.
But seriously,
Dejen de gastar el dinero en equidad,
stop wasting money on equity
y poniéndolo en papel, porque está en papel,
and put it on paper.
pero no lo
It's on
están,
paper.
pero no lo están implementando
But you're
con
not-
hechos.
You're not implementing it with deeds.
Gracias, que pasen buenas noches.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Mrs. Sandoval. Next, we go to Mr. Rod Campbell.
Good
Welcome
evening,
back.
board members. Yes. I lost my priority with students. I used to get up here first. Now it's moved to the end. As you guys probably have heard, you should have gotten an invitation kind of sent out to you, but our 6th annual robotics tournament is going to be held November 9th at Rialto Middle School. They are doing a fantastic job of hosting it again for us. We've had great support from Ed Services in making it happen. We are the largest one in the southern region now. We've always been the largest in Inland Empire, but now we're the largest and this is taking in those that are in Orange County and San Diego. So we have a lot of demand. Our district right now has 10 teams that are going to compete. We have 4 middle schools, and we have 3 elementaries with teams competing. So out of the 28 we have registered right now, and we'll go up to 32, we have a good contingency to move on. And the plan is when I retired that this did not die. And everybody's been very supportive about allowing it to continue on. Well, we received, and I was told not to say this by my boss, but we got a proclamation yesterday that the 9th of November is STEAM Education in Rialto Day.
Wow.
So we are back into we want to do it and keep it going. So all of you have been there. I remember a very green superintendent on his first, I think it was your first month, came walking in on our very first one, and we were just as green, and we've had the support at this district since then. So again, I want to thank you all for all the support we've had. Mr. Mohammed was there. He's been judging. Mr. Martinez has been judging, and like I said, I've seen all of you out there. So again, November 9th, if you get a chance to stop by, we've got maybe some of those blue car helpful people that are going to come by and help us. So maybe we'll get a little extra advertising going on it as well with that, if they walk around and give away a new car or something. But or maybe just help carry robots. But we're looking forward to it. Over 300 students, again, from San Bernardino, Riverside, and as far as ways Temecula, we've got some coming in. And like I said, we'd like to have some of those top spots. 8 of them are going to move on to Legoland in December, and we'd like to see a good number of those from Rialto, and that's the plan, is to keep our numbers growing. We've got 2 schools that are in development that didn't get going quite this year, but we'll maybe do something in February where they can compete, and the other middle school that didn't get in, and another elementary. So again, even in the absence of being at there every day, it's still doing its job, and we're going to keep it going. And so we look forward to seeing you there, and I thank you very much for your support and the time tonight. Thank you.
And Mr. Campbell, before you leave, you said November 9th. What time?
8 o'clock it starts, and
8 a.m.?
Yeah, those competitions are in a classroom, and they're being judged on a project that has to do with the cities of the future. What are we going to need? So a lot of the schools are working on projects that look at maybe some of the homeless in our city and how we could address that. So here's 4th to 8th grade students solving homeless situations in their own little world. We've got some that are working on transportation. They've contacted city managers, city planners, and have talked with them, about what they need to look at. So again, they're looking at open-ended questions and doing it. And then the robotic competition, which is really kind of the exciting end of it, it starts around noon. And they'll be running 3 sessions on the board. Like I said, 32 teams, so there'll be like 96, competitions running on the board before 5 o'clock. But
this is Saturday.
It's on a Saturday, yes, all day long. And the good news is I don't have to go to work the day before or the day after. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do for the community.
Next, we go to Mr. Tobin Brinker.
Good evening, Board and Superintendent. I'm here tonight to sort of plant a seed. Earlier this evening, I sent an email to the Superintendent with a link to an article that I've asked him to share with the Board. It's an article about teacher-led professional development, and I think it's very timely based on the presentation you saw earlier tonight. The idea is that, we have a district here with about 1,200 teachers, almost 1,200 teachers, with countless years of experience and a tremendous amount of knowledge. And we need to tap into that. And this article looks at and asks teachers about this and what's good about it. And there's 5 main points, and I just want to share them with you. The first one is that teachers want to learn from their colleagues. They're open to that. Number 2 is that being a teacher leader increases one's sense of professional efficacy. So the people who get to be the leaders of these kinds of professional development, it builds them up. And number 3, this is the one for you, is that school districts must create structures for teachers, teacher collaboration, and professional development to affect real change. And so I want to encourage you, and this, like I said, plant a seed, to think about how we can do that and maybe work with the teachers union, and that'll come up in step 5 here in a minute. Number 4, to create lasting change in pedagogy, professional development shouldn't be one and done. And so by implementing your own people, it becomes a continual exchange, right? It's not just something that you send them off to a training and then they come back and they're done with it, okay? And then number 5 is that teacher leaders get the best results when they build a wide range of relationships. And this is where I'm talking about partnering with the union, partnering with the administration, partnering with our local universities, with nonprofits, and groups like that. And so I presented this article to the teachers in the union. We have a Facebook group, and I sent it out there, and people are starting to comment on it. But it's been speaking to me, and it's been on my heart, that we do more to engage our own teacher leaders in our district to solve the problems and the issues that we see. It shouldn't always be stuff that comes from other folks saying, hey, this is something you should be doing. But we know what we're dealing with in the classroom, and we have experience and knowledge that we should be sharing broadly with each other. And unfortunately, sometimes in our day-to-day teaching, we're in our classroom, and we don't get those opportunities. And we have to create them in a more effective way, a better way. And so in the spirit of our recent parent summit, I'll just throw this out there. What about a teacher summit? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Brinker. Next, we go to Celia Saravia.
Claro, para que me vean. Gracias, José. Miss Sánchez le olvidó su reconocimiento.
Oh, we're going to fix it.
Oh. Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good evening, members of the board.
Presidente Mr. Montes,
President Mr. Montes,
Vicepresidenta Ms. O'Kelly,
Vice President Ms. O'Kelly,
Superintendente Dr. Ávila.
Superintendent Dr. Ávila,
Audiencia.
and audience.
Soy Celia Saravia
I am Celia Saravia,
y represento al grupo de apoyo para padres de niños especiales.
and I represent a support group for parents of special needs children.
Y esta noche queremos felicitar
Tonight we want to congratulate
a nuestro distrito
our district
por la cumbre para padres
for the Parents Summit,
del pasado octubre 12.
which took place October the 12th past.
Sabemos que fue muy exitosa
We know that it was very successful,
y a la vez agradecer
and at the same time, I want to thank
a todos los que hicieron posible
all those who made it possible
que se realizara,
for this to happen,
especialmente
especially
a los padres
the parents,
Mirna Ruiz,
Mirna Ruiz,
María Sandoval, Elsie, Elizabeth, don Rafael y a muchos padres que siempre están dispuestos a apoyar las actividades del distrito
and many other parents who are always available to support the district activities
en beneficio de nuestros
to
estudiantes.
benefit our students.
A Mr. Montes por haber danzado.
Mr. Montes for having danced.
Toda la gente comenta en la comunidad que estuvo muy bonito.
You got moves, Edgar. All the people in the community are commenting that it was very nice.
También felicitar a la junta directiva
Also to congratulate the board
por haber renovado el contrato de nuestro superintendente,
for having renewed the contract to our superintendent,
Dr. Ávila,
Dr. Ávila,
ya que nuestro distrito
since our district
nunca había estado tan bien como ahora.
had never been as fine as it is now.
Hicieron una excelente decisión.
You made an excellent decision.
El miércoles 16 de octubre
Wednesday, October the 16th,
nos reunimos el Comité de Educación Especial,
the Special Education Committee met,
liderado por Dr. Ávila,
guided by Dr. Ávila,
Dr. McDuffie,
Dr. McDuffie.
Miss Billet Ely. Fue excelente porque participamos padres, maestros, administradores y personas de la comunidad
It was excellent because parents, teachers, administrators, and people from the community participated,
personas que están involucradas con la educación especial.
and people who are involved in special education.
Esperamos contar en nuestras juntas
We hope
en el futuro
to, in our meetings in the future,
con miembros de la mesa directiva.
hope to see members of the board.
Felicidades a nuestro superintendente
Congratulations to our superintendent
y a la junta directiva.
and the board.
Vamos para adelante trabajando unidos por nuestros estudiantes.
Let's keep on moving forward, working united for our students.
Felicidades a todos los homenajeados esta noche,
Congratulations to all those who were recognized tonight.
al doctor de Sousa por todo lo que logra para nuestro distrito y nuestros estudiantes,
To Dr. De Sousa for everything that he achieves for our students and for our district.
a Beyoncé, perdón que no sé pronunciar tu nombre, hijo, pero muy guapo, qué bueno que vienes así bien presentable.
So nice that you come here so well dressed.
Representas muy bien a todos tus compañeros estudiantes.
You represent quite well all your fellow students.
Y cuando les tomaron la foto pensaba que era el hermanito menor de Mr. Montes.
When they took the picture, I thought it was Mr. Montes, his younger brother.
Muchas gracias y buenas noches
Thank
a
you.
todos.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sarabian. Next, we go to Myrna Reese.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Avila, and audience. I'm here representing Rialto Council of PTA. I wanted to invite you to two different events that are going to be happening. The first one is not a PTA event, it's actually a district event. It's the first one that the district is going to be having, so I would really encourage your support. It's Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, which is going to, and I'm sure you guys have been looking at the wonderful posters. It's November 1st from 4:30 to 7 o'clock. It's at the Chavez Dolores Huerta Center. please, if you can put in your schedule and clear your schedule to come, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have danza again. We're going to have schools participating. We're going to have wonderful food. It's going to be amazing. And then we're going to have Dr. Avila give a speech and let us know what were you aware that you're going to be speaking?
I am now.
I saw that face. It was like, wait, what? Okay, so yes, it's going to be a great event. So please, we're going to have contests, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great experience. For me, it's going to be also a new experience, so I am really looking forward to it. And I'm going to try to dress up as much as I think I can. So yes, please attend. And then the second event, it is going to be November 13th. This is a PTA event. It's an annual event, which is the Superintendent Roundtable for the County of San Bernardino. It's going to be November 13th. It starts at 11 o'clock. Check-in time is at 10:30. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys flyers. It is a cost of $35, so hopefully that's not a discouragement for you to attend, but it is a wonderful event as well. We have superintendents throughout the county attend. We're going to have a speaker from State of California, PTA State of California, and also our very own Ted Alejandro is going to be there speaking as well. So it's going to be a great event, and I would love to see Rialto represented. Last time there was a contest and we won. So I would like to win again. The more we have there representing Rialto, the better. Thank you.
You said November 13th?
Yes. The board meeting.
At the...
I didn't say where, huh?
No.
Good question. I was going to give you a flyer, but it is at the Arrowhead County Country Club in San Bernardino. I've never been there, so hopefully you guys know. The address is 3433 Parkside Drive in San Bernardino. So I'll hand out the flyers, and I can ask if we can post this later on PTR. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any more public comments? All right, next we go to public comments from our association executive board members. And first and foremost, we'll go with Rialto Education Association, REA.
Thank you, Mr. Montez. Good evening, board, Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. I'd like to thank the board for what's on the agenda with recognizing LGBTQ Pride Month. It's especially apropos with what we've been talking about with bullying, so I appreciate that. I also want to talk a little bit about some of the things the governor did 2 weekends ago. He signed the bill mandating that secondary schools start later, so everyone's been talking about that. But one of the bills that he vetoed, no one has been talking about, and that is the full-day kindergarten mandate. He vetoed that bill because it was, in his view, too expensive for the state of California to fund at this time. So the reason I'm bringing it up is I would like RUSD to reconsider doing the full-day kindergarten until the state provides funding for it. I realize we've put in for funding. I just don't see that happening. I see an encroachment on the general fund if we move forward with it, since the state is not providing funds. And I just feel that money could be better used for other services for our students, especially at the elementary level where we don't have any counselors. They could use PE teachers, perhaps, to blow off some steam outside. I'd like to see our wellness centers funded and staffed at the middle schools. We have them now, but they're not fully staffed. And extra counselors at the high school. I know I've spoken to you about student behaviors before and the uptick in extreme disruption and defiance. So I think our money would be better spent overall in the district with looking at those type of social emotional wellness programs for our kids. Thank you very much.
Next, we go to Communication Workers of, CSEA, California School Employees Association. Sorry. I think I wrote that typo.
Right.
Good evening, Rialto Unified Family. I'm Chris Perdasco, Chapter President.
tonight. First of all, I want to congratulate all the award recipients. Your accomplishments continue to be inspiration to us all. Tonight, I wanted to bring up something in the agenda that might have gotten lost in all the LCAP talk tonight. There's this little piece about our contract. K5, ask that you please vote yes on that. Classified staff would certainly appreciate that. Also, again, I wanted to say that thank you to Rhonda and her team for a very professional and fruitful process. Since the last board meeting, we've also started some conversations with the district in dealing with some challenges in the safety office department. We met with Rhea and Gordon today, actually. Had a very good meeting, very heartfelt meeting, and a very progressive meeting. And I just appreciate that as a chapter president. Thank you very much. And that's it. Happy Halloween to everyone, and we'll see you in November.
Next, we go to Communication Workers of America, CWA.
Haven't seen her tonight.
Not in the hallway? Alrighty. Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA.
Mr. President, it's after 9. If we wish to, do you need to do homework or anything? Or could
It looks like he needs to go to bed.
you know you can bring your homework too.
No, don't do that. You just go home.
And just for future reference, please do not feel, please feel free to go when you have to go. You don't need permission from the board. You're on this board as well. And, you can just nod over to us or let us know that you got to go, and don't worry about asking permission or being excused. We know you got to do your thing. So we ask that your family also, when you got to take them, just go ahead and take them. Well, thank you guys. But thank you so much for everything. Thank you. Next, we're on comments from our superintendent.
Thank you, President Martin. Saida, you have a question?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom. We're gonna ask him to say a few words before he goes tonight, if that's okay. Good reflexes.
Basically, what I was just going to say today is that I was going to talk about the parent summit that it was my first parent summit. I've never gone to it. Like, I remember I heard about it, but like I never really thought to go. But I think it was a really good experience. I liked the parade in the beginning, where we got to see all the elementary schools and even like my school come through, and so it was a cool thing to just like see all the schools that I like represent, and it kind of hit me differently, where it was like from elementary all the way up, so that's it, I think. If you want to come support, Carter High School is having our senior night next Friday, and I believe Rialto High School is also having theirs this Friday. I'm not sure Eisenhower, Miss O'Kelly, I'm sorry.
No offense.
But if you would like to come support us, those are when it's happening. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good stuff. Now we go on to our superintendent.
And Mr. Montes, do you have your list? I don't want to talk about some of the things that you may be ready to talk about.
I was going to put you last tonight, but no. Go ahead. Take it away.
So just quickly, congratulations again to all those that were recognized this evening. But I also want to recognize Mr. Eric Atkinson, engineer and teacher at Eisenhower High School, and his group of students who produced the plaques that were presented today. And without making any excuses, the last bridge builder plaque was picked up around 4 o'clock. He was still setting the adhesive to the plaques, which is why the plaques probably were becoming a little loose. So he did this with a lot of pressure in a very short period of time. We do want to have all of our future plaques made by the engineering class at Eisenhower High School, give the kids an opportunity to produce something that will go a very long way for those who receive these very distinctive awards. So again, thank you, Mr. Erickson and those students for being able to step up to the task in a very short period of time. Also, we will be bringing to the board an updated strategic plan. We have convened the planning team on several occasions over the last 2 weeks, and we have spent quite a bit of time going over our strategies and learning to let go of those things that the team believes are already in place or are no longer relevant to what we're doing here in the district. It has been a very productive experience, and we will be transferring the new strategies to the action planning teams, who will then do their best to match the plans to the strategies that we have developed. We have gone from 8 to 6, and they have been structured around students, staff, and parents to make it very clear that we're focusing on these 3 particular groups. And so it should make it a lot easier for the action teams to then take all the data that the planning team looked at along with the 6 strategies to be able to tailor very specific action plans moving forward. Keep in mind that the original process produced 60 or so action plans, which was very ambitious, but as you can imagine, some things don't get the same attention that others do, and so we're really looking at having the action teams consider 3 to 5 plans per strategy to keep it a little bit more focused, so that we can easily be able to communicate to the world what it is that we're doing for families, what it is that we're doing for students, and what it is that we're doing for staff. And it doesn't mean that we stop doing certain things, but it just means these will be the focal areas that we'll be doing through our strategic plan. I also want to just congratulate Trapp Elementary School administration, teachers, and everyone else. They had their second annual Bring Your Parent to School Day, and there was a full house. It seemed like every parent from that school was there. Dr. McDuffie gave an amazing keynote address to the families, and I can see just in the energy that was in the room that the families really appreciated having the opportunity to listen to Dr. McDuffie, and then the excitement of visiting the classrooms with their kiddos. So kudos to the team over at Trapp for such an amazing day. And just to add a couple of things, as far as the bills that Governor Newsom approved recently, the vast majority related to education focus on students. It focused on social emotional areas. It was mentioned the start of school time being one of the big ones that has been approved, but also we're looking at another bill, SB 419, that now prohibits the suspension for the fines for grades TK through 8th grade. So it's an opportunity for our staff to look at additional ways to deal with any kind of misbehavior on campuses between TK and 8th grade. And lastly, I just quickly want to address an item that many of you might have seen in the Sun newspaper either last night or today. Related to incidents that have happened over the past few years, particularly between Yucaipa High School and involving Carter High School. Issues of using racial epithets or racial comments directed at our students. Know that in the past, these items have been addressed internally between staffs, between coaches, between school administration. Last year, it produced the symposium that was proposed for the entire Citrus Belt League that brought students and coaches, administration from the different schools within the Citrus Belt League, as well as the CIF commissioner from the Southern Section, Mr. Rob Weigand, to discuss sportsmanship on the field and off the field. But with the incidents that happened a week or so ago, it's one of those situations that it's easy to respond by perhaps turning the other cheek. But it's come to a point where the issue is more comprehensive. And the root of it is obviously more comprehensive, and so the response has to be more comprehensive. In Rialto, we are promoting kindness. We're promoting our courage campaigns to try and raise the level of response from our students to be upstanding young boys and girls, and hopefully upstanding citizens once they transition into adulthood. But we also need to address the issue at the different levels, not just with the students, but also with the adults involved, also within the community, and within the CIF, at the CIF level, through policy. We're not going to change individuals who are not open to change. It would almost be impossible, but we can take control of how we respond and of our own personal behavior, but also we can push with, in this case, with CIF, in terms of some of the things that they can possibly institute to address this matter. And it's not something endemic to Yucaipa. It's not something endemic to the Inland Empire. It happens throughout the country, it happens throughout the state. It's not something that's new. It's been happening for many, many years. But it's going to take a very concerted and aggressive effort to address it at the various different levels. I have reached out to the superintendent of Yucaipa Cali Mesa. She and I will probably meet tomorrow to discuss what we plan to do at our level moving forward, and I have also a call out to Mr. Rob Weigert, the CIF commissioner, to see what needs to be done at his level so that this issue does not continue any further. And that's it.
Thank you, Dr. Avila. Next we go to Mr. Joe Martinez.
Thank you, President Montez. Because of the time, I'm going to pass. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we go to Mr. Joe Ayala.
Thank you, President Montez. I would like to continue and elaborate a little bit on Dr. Avila's report on the sensitive issues that we are experiencing at the moment. Usually, if you can find the root of the problem, you start moving in the right direction. And thinking about this, to me, it's a lack of appreciation. When you work with somebody and you share the responsibilities with somebody and you make their life easier, you have an appreciation. When you break bread with somebody, you have an appreciation. When you help each other solve a problem, you have an appreciation for one another. When you cry together, you understand that you're both human. I think you're getting it. You laugh together. There's many ways to find ways to appreciate one another. This is one of the reasons I'm here in this seat right now, because I appreciate people. They were very kind to me in my whole life, and so I feel like, I wanted to give back, so that's why I'm here. But I also know the importance of an educational institution and a community, and I don't take these responsibilities lightly. I take them serious, and but I want to offer some solutions here. That appreciation can start as simple as our children, when we gather them and give them opportunities to play in a sandbox. They just want somebody to smile, throw the ball back to them. As they grow up, they will be confronted with different types of emotions. I know. I'm still playing that sandbox with adults. When I get in that sand and my ball's there and somebody's laughing because I can't get it out. But at the end, I learned something very valuable. That what I shared with you about the appreciation, even though I've made my contribution to these glorified golfers that are very good and sometimes take advantage, you feel maybe a little jealousy, maybe inadequate. You can come up with a lot of adjectives to describe it. But when you go in for a debriefing, it's called going to the 19th hole, and you go there and somebody knows that you need a refreshment, you need a pat on the back, all of a sudden there's a sensitivity there. You feel like, you know what, I'm glad I showed up here. You don't feel that anger anymore. You've solved the root of the problem. So taking our kids and placing them in a bubble is not the way to go. Exposing them to all these types of the challenges, that's moving in the right direction. But to guide them and let them know this is the way of life is. Shame on those people that use poor judgment. It's on them. It's not on those who are being treated indifferent. It makes them look bad. Hopefully they will learn. They may have to learn the hard way, but that is not the way to behave. That's not the way we train our kids here in Rialto. Our kids have inclusion. We care about everybody, diversion. So you can see not everybody's on the same page, but we can continue to set the examples for other communities. We can continue to find the roots of the problems. And in summary, please don't underestimate the value of a sandbox and playing together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Next we go to Ms. Dina Walker.
So just ditto to everything people have said here. And two things I'd just like to ask a question. For the adult school around the GED classes and I don't know, and you don't have to tell me today, but if somebody can send me the information, just where do we get the funding for it? Like, who are our different funding streams specifically to support our parents, our Spanish-speaking parents, especially for the conversational English class? I know I had to take like 3 conversational Spanish classes. I know how those are important, and so if we're only offering one class and we've got high demand or wait lists, we need to figure out where the opportunity to increase that is. As well as the GED courses. So if we can just send me how we do that, and if there are other partnerships or whatever, so that we can get our capacity, if we've got more, expand our capacity for that.
And we'll look at
and
that.
Just
We'll look at that tomorrow.
Okay.
The funding stream is from the state. Each of the districts in the consortium receives its allotment based on enrollment.
Okay.
Then there's a pot of money that's centralized for special requests that we can tap into. But most of it, once we exceed our actual funding, comes from the general fund.
Okay.
The district general fund, which is what we did previously.
Okay.
And so we'll look at the availability of funds to support that effort.
Okay, and we're writing our process now. I'm doing our LCAP and everything, so we can look at the
Yes.
data and cool. All right, excellent. And then just the last thing, congratulations again to our district, because the parent summit this year, I just felt really inspired, especially that after the speech and everything, and going out and seeing everybody. It was just a good thing. I mean, I stayed way longer than I was supposed to. I was supposed to be at a conference, at another conference in Riverside, and I was like, I'll go a little later. Next thing I know, it was like 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, it's over at 3. I got to get over there. But it was just really inspiring. I think it was very engaging. The activities that the kids were able to participate at everybody's station, the giveaways, the candy. I mean, I don't know. It was just different. There was a whole vibe this year that was extremely different. I think it was because the event was actually more interactive and engaging. Yeah. And so kudos again to everything that's going on in Rialto. But that was a great parent summit this weekend, and I'm just very proud because people from outside of the district were there, and they're like, "This is good. This is not like our little, And so I'm like, yes, because that's how we do it in Rialto.
Right.
So again, thank you all, and thank you.
Thank you. Next, we go to our Vice President, Mrs. Nancy O'Kelly.
Well, I'd also like to congratulate everybody who was honored tonight for their accomplishments. That's always one of our favorite things to do. And the Parent Summit, we had a great speaker. He had a wonderful, heartwarming, motivating story. He went from being homeless as a child to being a Harvard graduate. So, I mean, it was really interesting. We just need to make the What?
Acoustics?
Acoustics, that's the word I'm looking for.
It's
A little
horrible.
better if we can. It was a little, missed
Yes.
a lot of it, I know.
The gym is
And I want to thank everybody who worked so hard to make it all possible. This is a team of parents and staff that just really work hard to do it. So, congratulations. I also wanted to share a little story. You notice I have my Courage bracelet on for this month. October is National Bullying Prevention Month. And I heard this wonderful story about a British musical duo made up of two boys, Charlie Lenihan, who's 15, and Leandre DeVries, who's 13. Leandre was bullied a lot all through elementary school. And so he met Charlie, and they found out they could sing very well together. And they wrote a song called Bars and Melody. And they got to perform it on the British show in England, similar to our America's Got Talent, called Britain's Got Talent. Simon Cowell came to tears and pushed the golden buzzer. Any of you who watch America's Got Talent knows what that means. You're going straight through. And this pushed them through to the semifinals, and they wound up in the end finishing in third place overall. But the song has gone worldwide promoting the anti-bullying message. This song, if you can find it on YouTube or something, will make you tear up. It's really awesome. It's beautiful. And I just thought, what a wonderful vindication of being bullied. Because we're famous now. And you're still bullying people. No, we hope not. But I just wanted to share that because it seemed appropriate for this month. Thank you.
Good evening, buenas noches. So I just wanted to also congratulate everybody that was awarded tonight. And I want to thank Dr. Sweeney and all of the people over at Rialto High School for having such a very nice parent summit. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay for the whole entire thing, but it meant a lot for me, my family, and my son to participate in the presentation of the traditional Aztec dance there.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you. I also just want to thank all of the parents, volunteers that were there, because I know there's always an army of parent volunteers at the Parent Summit. I want to thank the Army of Nutrition Services, because they're always there representing, and Fawcett danced with us. So I want to thank Fawcett. And speaking of Fawcett, she just had a birthday.
Yes.
She just had a birthday. I'm not going to sing happy birthday to you from the diocese, but I do want to wish you a very happy birthday, and on behalf of me and my family, best wishes to you and your family, Fawcett.
Right.
May the Lord bless you with many, many more years of good health.
Well,
And,
she's only 29.
Of course.
I'm 21. Oh, I'm sorry.
So happy birthday and best wishes always for you. I want to just also say to the parents from the adult education program, to continue to work hard, to continue, how we say, how Mexicans say, to continue to echarle ganas, meaning to continue to have that self-drive, that self-passion to continue moving forward. So I'm sure, we're sure that nobody meant to hurt anybody's feelings, nobody meant to offend anyone, and I feel bad if any, if anything was taken, in offense, but continue to work hard and continue to move forward. I want to thank Dr. Avila for really taking leadership, and Dr. McDuffie for taking leadership regarding the situation that's continually happening between Rialto games and Yucaipa games. It's unfortunate that in 2019, almost 2020, we're still dealing with really unfortunate situations where people are being called racial slurs or being put down publicly at football games or whatnot. It's really unfortunate that we have to, continue to endure that type of treatment. And I feel bad for our students and our students' families who go to these games to support their kids, only to witness this kind of these kinds of offenses. I do want to just share a couple quotes from our very own Dr. Martin Luther King that just want to give some food for thought. One of the quotes is, "It may be true that the law cannot make a man love me. It may be true that the law cannot make a man love me, but it can keep a man from lynching me." And I think that's pretty important. And these are the types of things we should think about is, maybe we can't force someone to not like you. Maybe we can't force someone to see you and like you. But these CIF games, these championship games, these high school games, there should be policies that prevent people from yelling out racial slurs at these games, at these family functions, at these student functions. And if there's no policies to protect people from this type of mistreatment or no consequences, then it's just going to continue to happen. So I do look forward to seeing some type of development from the policy perspective. And that was actually Dr. McDuffie's idea, so I didn't mean to steal it, but I do agree with it, and really believe that that'll be a part of the solution to these types of situations, because we don't want to have to keep going through this every single year, and our students from our schools shouldn't have to go through that or experience that every year. And the other one was, he who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting it is really cooperating with it. And we shouldn't just sit here and keep our hands crossed and just say, oh, kids are kids and freedom of speech. No, it's 2019, and our students and our families should be able to be free to go to a game at a neighboring district and not have to endure these types of offenses. And if they do, then there should be some type of accountability somewhere. So with that, thank you, Dr. Avila. Thank you, Dr. McDuffie. We're sure that you guys will come up with some good strategies and plans to really demonstrate to our neighboring districts and our community that we want to work together. We want to come to the table. We want to shake hands. We don't want to fight. We don't want to engage in negativity. But we will stand up for ourselves and for our students and our families. So with that, let's get the show on the road. Public hearing, item D, public information. D1, Williams Settlement Legislation Quarterly Uniform Complaint Report Summary for July through September 2019.
Move to open public hearing.
Second.
I Item D2, public hearing pursuant to the requirements of government code and board policy, the forum for public disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement, AB 1200, statutes of 1991, chapter 1213, as revised by AB 2756, statutes of 2004, chapter 25, government code 3547.5, between the California School Employees Association, CSEA, and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. Do we have a we have a motion and a second. Vote by board members?
Aye. Move to close public hearing.
Hold on. So public hearing was just officially opened. If we have no comments and no questions from anybody in the public, then I will entertain a motion to close.
So moved.
Hearing none, so we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the time is 9:34. Consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by the Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Approve consent calendar items referenced E through J.
Move to approve the consent calendar items E through J.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That takes us to item K. Item K1, adopt second reading of ordinance number 19-20-1 of the Community Facilities District number 2019-1 of the Rialto Unified School District authorizing the levy of special taxes within CFD number 2019-1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Do you have any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is K2, deny liability claim number 19-20-02.
Move to deny.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Item K3, adopt resolution number 19-20-24, authorizing the filing of Form J13A and requesting approval by the County Superintendent of Schools for the emergency closure and reduction of average daily attendance for Thursday, October 10th, 2019, and Friday, October 11th, 2019, for Cardiac Elementary School at no cost to the district.
Move to approve.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item K4, approve the recommendation of the Administrative Hearing Panel, case number 18-1972.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item K5, ratify the tentative settlement agreement between the Rialto Unified School District and the California School Employees Association, CSEA.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we go to K6, adopt resolution number 19-20-26, authorizing the commitment to align with the overall goal of STEM Cares and shall support the STEM Cares Committee that is responsible for assisting with the environmental sustainability plan that takes the following action with the purview of the district.
Move to approve.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, adopt resolution number 19-20-27, proclaiming June 2020 as LGBTQ month to inspire equity, create alliances, celebrate universal diversity, and establish safe environments in our schools and communities throughout the county.
Move to approve.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item K8, adopt resolution number 19-20-28, proclaiming every second Monday of October as Indigenous Peoples Day. The district shall encourage staff to utilize the second Monday in October as an opportunity to reflect upon the ongoing struggles of Indigenous people of this land, to celebrate the thriving cultures and values of the Indigenous peoples of our region, and to stand in solidarity with Indigenous peoples everywhere.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next regular meeting of the
President
Board of
Montes.
Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held
Mr.
on...
President,
I need some clarification on item K2. And if Martha, if you have it, so the motion was,
Oh, to deny.
it should be to approve the denial.
To approve
not
the
deny the
denial, I'm
denial,
sorry.
because otherwise it renders the opposite outcome.
Right, okay.
So if
you
the
want
board wishes to reconsider that.
No, we'll go ahead and do it over.
The voting ballot.
Item K2, we need to make a correction to the way the item is worded. Now, we all voted to deny it, but in order to deny it, it actually has to state
Has to be approved.
Yes.
Right.
Didn't we do that?
I'll make the motion to approve the denial of liability claim 1920-02.
I will second. Okay.
Okay, so it's to approve the denial of
Right.
liability claim number 8. Okay.
Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for catching that.
The next regular meeting of the Board of Education will be held November 13th, 2019 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John R. Casalunas Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office. And next, we go to, last but not least, item L, adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, vote by board members?
Aye.
Aye, the time is 9:40.